Hi guys, welcome back. This is the graphics guy. I'm going to just have a quick look here at drawing some hexagons. We'll do a sheet on hexagons. Going to start off by just splitting the sheet into roughly 6 there. No need for measurements, just split it up into 6 parts there. So, and we'll mix up a little bit of hexagons with a few other bits and pieces as well. So there's our sheet split into 6. Now the first thing I want to look at is drawing a hexagon using only one measurement. So let's say we want a hexagon here that is 40 millimeters. So I measured this here to be 40. You don't need to write down the measurement, but that's 40 there. Now, hexagons involve the 60-30 set square. Now, if you're not sure of your angles, you could stick on a bit of masking tape here, especially if you're a first year. You could stick a little bit of tape on here. I'll just do it there as we speak. So this here is our 60-degree angle. That's coming out a bit light now. I'll just get a marker pen or something there. So that's our 60-degree angle. And the other angle over here, I'll just stick on a bit of tape on this as well. So if you're a first year, this might help you. Okay, so that's our 30. Obviously you don't need to have a big huge piece that I put on there, but it'll do for now. So drawing our hexagon, there's the base, and as I said, we want to do it with only one measurement. So what you need to do is, let's draw a big, now I'll just zoom in on this here now, it might help people. So there's our base. We're going to draw an X light, and then where they cross, we're going to put a horizontal line through the center. So that's kind of like a spider web. And from then on, we're just putting on our angle. So it goes up at 60 degrees, upwards at 60. And then back in. Back in. And horizontal. Okay, so there is our hexagon drawn using just one measurement. Now, that is one that you should practice a lot. Now, just to entertain yourselves there then, no, I'll leave that, and I'm going to just reset the camera here. I might come back to that in a minute, but there's our basic hexagon. Now what I'm going to do is something similar down here. I'm going to just draw another hexagon. 40 works fine. So we'll just practice the same thing again. Draw an X. So we'll keep this X nice and light. Through the center point in horizontal, and we're back putting on our angles again. So 60 degrees up and out, 60 degrees up and out, then 60 degrees back in, 60 degrees back in, and horizontal. Now to entertain yourselves on this one, let's turn this one into a cube, because there's our perfect hexagon. But if you heavy in the correct 3 lines, all of a sudden we can convert that into a cube. And I will just very quickly throw a few colors on our cube. Okay, so there's one face. So guys, if you're following the video there now, you just, you know, work alongside the video. Just pause it and grab your colours, and while I'm colouring, you should be colouring, so that you're not just sitting there watching. And just grab one more colour. So there we have a 3D cube, which is drawn there, starting off with a hexagon. Now that's just really a bit of fun. Okay. So that there is a 3D cube. So up here is a normal, and our first one there was just a normal hexagon. Now what I'm going to look at here now next, then I'll just move on here to the middle grid on top, but it doesn't really matter which one you put these on. I'm going to look at drawing what's called a hexagon on a point. So again, I'm going to go with 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're starting off with a V. Now I just did one measurement again. So vertical, vertical, 30-degree angle here, and a 30-degree angle then back through the center here, and 30 degrees and 30 degrees. So again, I only measured one time, because you don't want to have to be measuring every single side. If you know your angles, you only need to put the measurement on once, and you can drive on there with that then. So here is what's called a hexagon on a point. The first one we drew was on the flat. Now I'm going to, with this one, I'm going to just heavy in all of the edges here, and I'm going to grab my colouring pencil there and just highlight a few little bits of geometry that's on this here now. So you can see there that there is 6 equilateral triangles, so I'm just going to take one and highlight it here, and we'll just examine the geometry on that. Okay, so there is 6 equilateral triangles on this, so that's 60 degrees, that's a 60-degree angle, that's a 60-degree angle. So we'll just make a note there that, just put on some guidelines here for this. Again, you don't need to measure them, but just a couple of men like that. So the angles are equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so 60, 60, 60, and you can say there is 6 by equilateral triangles. We'll just put the symbol for triangles. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that's just looking at the geometry of that, and if you wanted to, you could just put dotted line coming out here, and we'll just highlight that this angle here is 30 degrees. And just to make a nice tidy job of it, I'll use my compass here to put in that compass arc. So that's a 30-degree angle there. Now actually comparing that now to the previous one, I'll just zoom back over here for a second. I'm going to add that addition to it now. I'm going to put a dotted line out here. And just pop in my arc. Whoa. And that there is a 60-degree angle. Okay, so that's a 60-degree angle there to the horizontal. Okay, so that's 3 of them done. Now I'm going next to just reposition the camera here, and I'm going to focus on this box down at the bottom here next. And what I'm going to do here is just draw a random sized circle. I'll draw it light enough, well, I'll draw it heavy enough that you can see it. I would draw it a little bit lighter if we weren't using the camera. So there's our circle. Now what I want to look at here is drawing an inscribed, which is a hexagon inside in that. So what I'm going to start off doing there is I'm going to draw a horizontal and my X using the 60 degrees set square. And there we have all the edges that I need. So we've got 2 horizontals, $60, and I'll just flip that the other way. Okay, so that there is an inscribed. Hexagon. Now, next box there, so I'm going to just come to the box beside it here, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing. Grab a compass, draw a circle, now the only thing that's different, the last time we started with a horizontal, this time I'm starting with a vertical line. And I'm going 30 degrees and 30 degrees all through the center, and that there then is my inscribed hexagon standing on the point. So again, you can see these are 30-degree angles to the horizontal, and the sides are vertical. And again, we'll stick on some white lines here, and that there is a inscribed hexagon. That's called on the point. And just go back to the previous one there for a second. I'm going to add an extra little part to that. That's an inscribed hexagon, what's called on the flat. finally there then, just go up to this last one here, and what I'm going to do here now is just draw a small enough, maybe 25 hexagon there, and I'm going to go 60 . So what size are we going to make this? So I said there that that was 25. So I'm just gonna put a 30-degree line here. And this is my first hexagon. Horizontal. Now I'm just lining that up really light, so I'm just trying to keep the internal work on this one light. So here is a smaller hexagon, and what I'm going to do there now is I'm going to put another hexagon attached onto it. So here's my X through the center, horizontal, so this is basically what we did in the first video. So we're just going to do what's called a tessellation, or a repeating pattern. So I'll just come down at 60 here, nice and light, and up at 60. So 3 will do. Okay, so there we have, I'll just put a heading on this there, I'll stick it on the top. Now, so guys, this is a tessellation, which is a repeating pattern. You often see it on tiles or on tarpaulin on the floors or whatever. So it's T-E-S-S. Okay, so there we have, I'll just zoom back here, a quick sheet there. We've got our tessellation inscribed on the point, inscribed on the flat. We've got our 3D cube. We've looked at the geometry there of our 60-degree angles, and finally there, I'm going to come back to this one again that we did first. If you want to just practice a little tiny bit more than onto that, what you could do there is, that's 40. If I just go 10 and 20 and 30, just zoom out there a little bit. So we're going to just do like a spider web. Now this is good practice for your use of the instruments, as they call it. So these are all parallel lines. Now lots of horizontals. Now it's so important to have a sharp pencil, and ideally a 3H is what I'm using here. So you can see what's going to happen here in a minute. And if you're accurate, all of these points should just join exactly. Okay. So just call this one a web. Okay, so for first years or second years, that's a nice sheet there to practice and get to grips with hexagons. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. See you next time.